The Father advises us today not to worry and to postpone our expectations for a period that appears to be quite some time in the natural world. Your perspective on time will determine how it relates to events and happenings in the world around you. Hour by hour, day by day, week by week, month by month, and year by year, you can observe, from the vantage point of decades, how patterns emerge and develop. What looked like a very long period was over much faster than one realizes, which is surprising given how long it seemed to last. When I think about it like that, it's easy to picture how I'll perceive things in millennia. One day is like 1,000 years to me, since I have seen the end from the beginning and there is no time in all of eternity. This makes one day equivalent to 1,000 years. Take your focus away from the time component, and imagine yourself instead as an immortal existence. While I am increasing your capacity to take more, I want you to increase the amount that you can offer. Because you will start functioning on my time clock and performing my will on the earth, your perspectives on time and spiritual concerns will expand. This will happen because the supernatural realm will become more real to you than the natural world you live in, and this will cause you to fulfill my will in the world. Because your ears will be tuned into my voice, the wells within you are being primed and ready to flow with me in new ways, unfettered by doubt and unbelief and the talking heads who believe they know it all. This is because as you are pressing in and getting close to me, the wells within you are being primed and prepared. Both the dew of my presence and the oil of my spirit are currently falling over the earth in various forms and combining in novel ways. Those who are receptive to my love and power will be able to see manifestations of my benevolence and might. Do not be alarmed if circumstances come up in your life that you need to deal with quickly. As the pumps that are located within you are primed to allow the geyser of my presence to burst forth, the first things that will come out will be the debris that has clogged up your once flowing well. Do not be alarmed by this. One powerful shot is all it takes to get you up on your feet and running. I'm flowing and blasting through the things that have been holding you back for years, and for some people, their entire lives. You are about to go into what you have waited and prepared for all of these years, and whatever you have gone through and whatever price you have had to pay, it will have been well worth it. You are about to step into what you have waited and prepared for all of these years. The Father has spoken to us today, saying, I heard your cry as you called out to me. I have taken the time to review your request, and at this time I am not evaluating whether or not you meet the criteria necessary to be granted a response. Always keep in mind that I am your justification. I work in your life based on the work that was done on the cross, not on anything that you have done or can do on your own. That is the operation of mercy. To put it another way, this is how loving kindness works. My loving kindness extends itself to you to keep you alive and well even today. Put your faith in my compassion. Put your faith in all you know to be true about me and what I do. Just like I've been there for you at various points throughout your life, I'm here for you right now too. I promise that I will never desert or abandon you in any way. I see the tears in your eyes. I am aware of your suffering. Lean into the reliability of my love. I am working on methods that are hidden from your view. If you could look back 1 year from now to what I'm doing right now, you would find it much easier to relax and take a deep breath in the current circumstances. Do you know that I am working right now? Then take it easy in your task and have faith even though you don't have all the solutions. Put away your preoccupation with the shallow pursuits of men. They do not have any responses. They do not have any potential remedies. They are merchants of dishonesty and spreaders of lies throughout the world. Do not participate in their games or fall for their tricks. They will simply use you and then toss you to the side of the road as a dried-up husk, but I have better things in store for you. Today is the day that your virtuous character shines through like a tree in the forest. At this very moment, the sap of my favor is filling the branches and leaves of your inner man, because you are grounded deeply by the peaceful rivers and clean streams of my goodness. This is the hour in which you will experience this blessing. Permit joy to make itself at home in your beating heart. Relax and get some shut-eye, since I am the one who makes it possible for you to live in peace even on this very day. Today, the Father says, I have told you there is a more magnificent path. He expresses this in today's message. The laws that are associated with this higher and better manner take precedence over every other law in the universe. It is the law, and it takes precedence over all others. Love as patient bears, has courage and endurance, covers and abides, and patiently bears suffering. The law of love is higher, and those people who grasp this and walk in the truth of it can have faith that their hopes and expectations will never be dashed or taken away from them. They are aware that their trust and hope will endure for all of eternity, and that love will guide them to a banquet that is comprised of everything excellent and flawless. Love is always successful. The way to the path of justice can be found by following the voice of love as it calls out to you. The voice of my love guides each individual to the route that best fulfills his or her destinies and purposes. To some, my voice says, dwell in the land and cultivate faithfulness. To others, my voice says, go into the highways and byways and gather the lost. And to still others, my voice says, I am sending you to the nations to declare my glory. However, to every one of you, it is the voice of my love that beckons you to higher heights and guides you along the routes that lead there. Places where my love is made known to you in a way that is not obvious, and where, as a result of my goodness, you come to realize that the most important thing in the world is my love, thus says the Father. Today, the Father instructs us to have a spiritual mindset, which is necessary for both life and serenity. Put on the mind of Christ, with the anointed inclinations and purposes that you have received from me and my word. Put on the mind of Christ. The passing of adversity and testing is inevitable. The anguish and agony that have resulted in trials and problems are regarded as a temporary and manageable form of affliction that is beloved. You have accompanied me and stayed at my side all this time. You have followed in my footsteps and gained knowledge of who I am. It is time to get up and stand so that you can see the salvation that your God has provided. You must decide to focus your affections on the things that are above, for it is there that my glory will be shown to you. Everything that you may require is here for you to use. Because I am aware of the challenges and ailments that have caused you to feel feeble and fragile. Today, I will infuse you with my strength and make you stronger. I am exchanging my manifestation of glory to appear in your circumstance to destroy all hope delayed, which has caused your heart to sicken, and I am causing you to become persuaded with confidence and faith in my plans and purposes. I am doing this so that I can cause you to become fully persuaded with confident trust in my plans and purposes. Therefore, get ready for a new tidal surge of hope for the future to be bestowed upon you in its entirety, says the Father. The Father has spoken to us today, saying that the enemy has attempted to come against you bringing uncertainty and dread. You can easily get rid of him by exhaling a commanding breath of my spirit via your mouth, since he is nothing more than a petty dirt demon in the breeze. The Lord promises that you will be shocked when you see how small he is. He would yell and scream at you and try to trick your mind into believing that the dread he is projecting onto you is a reality, but you have the mind of Christ, and that is what is most important. You have access to the power that I morph into to push him away from you. You end up being exactly where you focus your attention. You are going in the direction that you are concentrating, so make sure that your concentration is on purpose. I want you to concentrate solely on my power and might rather than on everything else. Put your attention solely on the tasks and purposes I have for my kingdom. As I demonstrate my might and majesty on your side at this moment, I will disclose the reality of how insignificant the adversary truly is and how feeble his intentions are. Therefore, do not be frightened, and neither be terrified, for the Lord your God is going before you and preparing the way. This morning, the Father asks, whose account are you choosing to believe? I am the final victor and the master planner, even though the nations will roar and the kingdoms of the earth will tremble and form plans. I have listened to your prayers and the screams that you have made to me, and in response, I am shouting the good news of triumph to my people. Therefore, do not be afraid, but rather rejoice, and all you need to do is believe, and you will witness the confident display of my strength and glory upon the earth in your hour of trouble, and you will have your answer and provision when you need them. Now is the moment to be like the two who were able to see past the giants that were in the land and accept the blessings that the Lord had for them. My sustenance is readily available, and it is full of milk and honey. Furthermore, the fruit of the land is abundant and delectable. It is the time of my harvest, and I am summoning all of my laborers to come to the fields to gather what has been sown there. Those who participate in the harvesting will, without a doubt, be able to feast on the copious amounts of fruit that are produced. Now is not the time to cower in your wine vats out of fear. Rather, you should listen for the call to triumph and act accordingly. Because I consider you to be my brave and great men and women. The harvest is plenty, but there are not enough workers to bring in all of the souls that are waiting to be saved, says the Father. Therefore, ask me and pray that more workers will be added so that we can bring in an abundant harvest. The Father says that today, while there is more trouble, there is also more of my grace. My grace and power are about to become available to you in this circumstance. Anticipate being rescued. Prepare yourself for a swift favor that will destroy the force of your foe and obliterate the resistance of the adversary who is fighting you. I will respond to the aggressor from a position of authority when they rear their heads. When I do, the mountains of hardship will quake and then collapse under their weight. You will advance without difficulty into higher positions and receive upgrades that are beyond anyone's wildest dreams. Some have gazed on and watched, but they have not understood what is going on. They misunderstood and made judgments that aren't reflective of my love toward you, and they did this. I am here to assist you. I am here to assist you. Now that the breaking anointing from the horn of my might has been applied, the shield of faith that surrounds you has been anointed with oil. You will walk out into the world with strength and emerge undamaged from the fires of every hardship. God tells us to make a sound. Make sure that people can hear you. Pray with your lips open. Voice activation and faith activation are both at work in my kingdom. As you speak, the angels who have been sent to you will be given their missions. Keep a close watch on what you say and don't ever say anything that doesn't come from a place of promise and enthusiasm. Think on those things, and only speak about those things that are excellent, pure, and faultless. Only speak of those things. Fear does not have a place here. Maintain your attention on what I am doing, because regardless of the number of people who disagree with you, one heart of faith that believes I am at work is a majority. You are the one who will be saved. God says, rescue is in my hand, and my hand is expanded and open to you in full measure. He also adds, "My hand is open to you in full measure." The Father has spoken these words to us today. He says, "I am doing a work in your generation that is hard for some to believe, and it is impossible for the wicked to do even if they were told. My proclamation has already been made public, and I have already spoken my word. The invigorating breeze of my spirit is blowing, and things that have been carelessly clutched are being carried away by the wind. You will only be left with the things that are vital moving forward into your next season, even though those temporary annoyances and hardships seem like they will never stop. Nothing that you require will be lost to you in the process. I am calling you forth, and in doing so, I am unlocking the wells inside you that may have become dry as a result of the challenges and sorrow you have experienced in previous years. As you become aware of the wondrous manifestations of grace that are emerging from inside you, you will ascend to new heights. This will happen because the Holy Spirit will bring to your mind everything that I have previously shared with you. The pieces of the puzzle are starting to fit together, and you can see fresh opportunities for strategy opening up before you. Now those things will make sense. The waiting time is the most painful, especially when the solutions aren't easy to recognize, but it does not mean that I am saying no to your circumstance, nor does it mean that it is my wish for you to suffer to learn something. However, there are steps to take, results to anticipate, consequences for actions, and faith that must be exercised to arrive at the destination you anticipate. Be as cunning as serpents and as gentle as doves, and you will be able to distinguish between what is true and what is a false accusation that is being spread. You do have a part to play, so believe me even when circumstances are contradictory or even opposite, and have a strong foundation of faith to stand on to accomplish so. Faith is characterized by 4 distinct actions: speaking, believing, acting, and receiving. A single mustard seed is all that is necessary to get things rolling. Because you have the means at your disposal, there is no need for you to continue living in this location. It is now time to move forward.